is time now for my block, and this is a very special one because joining us is 11-year vet of the NFL, 5 seasons with the Washington football team, none other than Pierre Garçon. Had one of the best years, a record year here in Washington. Pierre, welcome to the show. Everybody wants to know, first off, how are you doing these days in the middle of a pandemic?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. Can't complain. Things could be a lot worse, but I'm taking it day by day and just enjoying it, trying to see the bright side of everything.
It's the best way to look at it, right? Okay, so you played with 3 teams. You started off with the Colts, Washington, and you finished with the 49ers in 2018. Since then, what are you doing? What are you up to these days?
I've just been relaxing, spending a lot of time with family, home in South Florida, just enjoying not having to work every day, going into the office, going to the building, just spending some much needed time with family and just enjoying South Florida, enjoying the still of, not having to be going crazy every day.
Let's get to your days here with Washington. You signed in 2012, 5 years, over 4,500 receiving yards, 21 touchdowns. Do you have a favorite memory playing with the Burgundy and Gold?
I had a lot of favorite memories. I should have had more yards too, but I'll say
Spoken
that.
like a true number one.
Yeah, my first game, my first NFL game for the Redskins, the Washington football team. When we went down to New Orleans Saints, that was very memorable. Beating Philadelphia the last moment in DC, it was a great moment. Making a comeback from Tampa Bay when we were down by a lot, it was a great moment. Making it to the playoffs, it was a lot of great memories. We worked very, very hard to, just to sneak into the playoffs and to continue to fight hard, throughout the season through many of injuries.
What was it about Washington that kind of made that the right decision for you at the time?
Everybody was excited. They were hungry, and I wanted to be a part of a team that was hungry to win. And I felt that from the coaches when they called me when they announced it in the city, was just showing me so much support, and they knew that we were moving in the right direction. And that was a great feeling that was genuine.
Draft is kind of right around the corner. You went to Division III Mount Union College. Can you share your draft experience with us?
Yeah, actually, I was talking about somebody that the other day, and I was like, what was your draft? I was like, well, this year it's a virtual draft. It's always been a virtual draft for me because I knew I wasn't going on the day 1 or day 2, but it was a great experience. It was just happy to actually have a chance to get your name called on TV to get drafted. That was, back in the day, we always watched the draft and just see the later round guys and they start picking anybody. That's what we think. But it was just happy just to be in that race to be drafted.
It's the night when dreams come true, whether it's virtual or you're actually out there in location. Hopefully we're getting a little bit more towards normalcy. But this year for Washington, they have the 19th overall draft pick. I'm not going to ask you to necessarily maybe give me a name of a guy that you would like at 19, but is there a position, if you were general manager, is there a position you think that you would like to see them target?
It is tough to try to predict a draft pick at 19 because everything changes after like round or pick number 1. But the position, if you have a chance to get a good quarterback, you might as well start grooming them now and saving for the future if, things don't work out. But picking a quarterback makes it easier for all the other positions.
Yeah, it's one of those things that continues to rotate around here, right? We have Ryan Fitzpatrick that they signed in free agency. What do you know about the kind of quarterback that he is and that he can be here?
I'm excited for that. I think he's a great quarterback for Washington. He can handle a lot of pressure. He can communicate very well. He's been into a lot of situations where he's seen a lot of things that won't surprise him. So he can get the younger receivers, the younger guys on the same page and prepare them to make the game easier for him. So I like that. I think he's a great veteran and he's willing to help everybody on the team.
How far does that really go? Because that was one of the things that they had with Alex Smith, is he kind of did help the younger guys, and it's a relatively young offense. Those guys are kind of still coming into their own. As a receiver, as a young receiver, what is he doing to really help those guys get to that next step?
He simplifies things. He makes it less complicated. He has a relationship with the players that when you're on the field as a young player, you are nervous. You guys might not see it on the fans or on TV, but when a quarterback tells you to do something just very simple and you know he's going to get it to you, it makes the game easier for you because you have the trust in the quarterback, and he's looking out for you. So it definitely helps young players play faster, so that they don't make those simple mistakes or they're not nervous out there, not sure what they're doing. And that's what helps players grow faster, the relationship with the quarterback, because he's like an on the field coach.
Yeah, a lot of the guys also said last year Alex Smith would kind of like help them know what the defense was going to do as well, which they were still trying to learn how to translate that. Ryan says he's going to give guys their chances. And look, this is what he's known for, right? He's going to throw that ball down there and see what his guys can do. Sometimes it's perfect placement. Other times you're going, what were you doing? But as a receiver, knowing that quarterback is going to say, hey, I'm going to trust you to go get it. What does that translate to for a receiver and how you approach the game?
That makes you go much harder for the quarterback because the quarterback has faith in you, and you don't want to let anybody down that has faith in you because you want to make him look good. He wants to make you look good, so you're gonna go that extra mile. You're gonna dive that extra ball. You're gonna go across the middle a little harder for that quarterback because he has faith in you. And when somebody has faith in you, you're trying to make it work out the best way possible.
Terry Mclaurin, I'm not sure how much you've been able to see of him, but he came in supposed to be a special teams guy, becomes quickly our number one wide receiver and a team captain on top of that. I mean, he's kind of wise beyond his years. But what have you been able to see from his game and how he's been able to grow in the NFL?
I love watching him play. I love how he, doesn't just catch the ball and go down. I love the run after catch, and that's what we as receivers try to show off as much because those are yards that the team didn't expect us to get. So he does that very well. He catches the ball in traffic very well. I'm happy to see him, and now that he's getting help, it's gonna have elevate his game even more because he has help around where everybody can't key in onto only one receiver.
He prides himself on being a guy that kind of does anything that's asked of him. We even had him play running back in the play, trying to confuse the defense. We've even seen him play defense, and it just kind of shows how he won't give up on a play. When he realizes he wasn't going to get the ball, he'll go and he'll make that tackle. How rare is that in a wide receiver and guys these days in the way that they approach the game?
It used to be rare. Nowadays, guys are doing anything and everything to help the team. We're not receiver divas anymore. We're just receivers that help the team. We're trying to do whatever because we know the team is the bigger picture, and we're just a part of it. And whatever extra we can do, we will do that part because we want to win. That's ultimately the goal.
I like that. Look, you mentioned he's going to get help. Curtis Samuel comes in here. He's kind of been a little bit of that slot guy at Carolina, playing behind a couple of big names. But he has the speed, and coach is going to give him those opportunities to play on the outside opposite of Terry. What do you think we can expect from Curtis as he continues to grow in his career here?
I definitely expect a lot of great things because he's a solid player. He's definitely going to catch the ball and make those tough plays as well as Terry does. So that's great for the offense and great for the quarterback. And it builds, strength because we're making tough plays over the middle and on the outside. It definitely gives us confidence to throw at any of those two at any time of the game, which is a weapon for us to have on offense. When they don't know who to key in, it's definitely harder for the defense.
And there's going to be a little extra competition because we also brought in Adam Humphries in the slot. Look, he says, I own that spot. That's the kind of receiver that I am. How important is that position to really kind of helping spread the offense around?
It's very, very important because they're the closest ones to the quarterback. The slot receiver, they can bail the quarterback out quick. They can make adjustments on the fly for the quarterback. And those guys, they're like those old 3 to 4 yard running plays where you can just dump it real quick and get something positive instead of losing, or getting sacked.
And then we have some tight ends. Look, it's been really cool seeing. We got Sammis Reyes. We'll see kind of what that does and how he kind of grows in here. Never played football before. Imagine that. Could you imagine playing basketball your whole life and then all of a sudden coming in and saying, I'm going to work out to be in the NFL and have an opportunity?
That's actually pretty cool. It's happened a lot with tight ends. Antonio Gates, those guys, Antonio Gonzalez that played basketball in college or, just growing up. But it's a cool thing. He looks like a beast. Hopefully he can catch and block, and we would definitely be happy to use that weapon, especially in the red zone because he's a big guy.
Yeah, he seems to be freakish athletic, but the blocking and the tackling, we'll see how he how he handles that.
It'll come. He's an athlete, so we know how to adjust to anything that's asked of us. We just have to understand what we're doing and at the right moment to bring it out. But that's the easy part.
What do you make when you look at all the additions and the offensive scheme that Scott Turner's running here, of the direction this offense is going in?
It's moving in the right direction. We're putting pieces of the puzzle together. That's what you can ask for, as a player that, know your team has a lot of potential. You start putting more pieces together to see the potential of it and see it going in a direction that it can't go. It's a great feeling for a player, a former player, and fans, that are supporting the team, because we want to see effort. Now that they're putting in the effort to put all the pieces together, it makes us excited.
All right, we're looking forward to it because it came together, I think, a little bit quicker than a lot of people anticipated or thought last year. So we'll see what they build upon that with these extra weapons coming into 2021 and the quarterback change as well. But let me ask you this. This is the biggest question that everybody out there that's a fan of this franchise has. What are we going to call ourselves going forward in the future? It's to my understanding, you have a suggestion for a name. What is it?
I have a suggestion. We were talking about it in a focus group about the name, where they always want the future and the history and the future to kind of come together, and we want to be like a family, or a lot of pride together. And I was thinking, we could probably call it the Washington Football Hogs or something along the line with the Hogs, because I remember when I was coming to DC, I remember the guys with the nose, the big nose and the Hogs. And it was kind of interesting because it was their thing. It wasn't, the coolest thing. It wasn't something, but everybody loved, the big nose and the guys dressing up. And that's the history of the team. And then, we don't want to change the name and forget the history. So if you put the Hogs in there, Hogs running around in the pack, and they're a family, and they're, when you call yourself the Hogs, you are, you have to stand up for something. So it's an idea. It's not what I strongly stuck my flag against on, but it's an idea that brings the past and the future.
I've heard that before, because the Hogs were pivotal in getting those Super Bowls, right? And here's the thing. If you don't have those Hogs, if you don't have, as what they call, the big beefy guys on that line, Pierre, you can't get the ball. The quarterback has no chance to get it out to you, right?
I agree. And with that, if you call yourself the Hog every day, you got to play like a Hog. You got to be one of those big guys. So that was my just idea.
All right. We're putting it in the suggestion box. If it does come to fruition, we'll give you a little bit of credit for it. Pierre Garçon, thanks for coming on, and it's great to catch up with you. We hope to have you back again soon. Take care.
Thank you. Anytime. I really appreciate it.